Welcome back to Simplexity Analytics Seasonal Report for May of 2024. This is kind of a slow month as we only have 4 markets that are showing an extreme reading. We have the US dollar index on the bullish side, and contrary to that, we have the euro currency on the bearish side. And we're going to show those more in depth this month just to show how each of these markets goes opposite to each other. And we'll show that on the heat map as well. And we also have cocoa and cotton that are most bearish too. And we'll also go over the S&P E-mini index in this video, and gold and 30-year bonds will be on the website. First up, we'll have a look at the US dollar index, May being the most bullish month of the year for the dollar. 66% of the Mays in this backtest have finished higher than they have opened and has had a net of just under $12,000. And if we look at the chart, we see that 2 out of the 3 years here that are shown did finish higher than they opened. That's last year, the year before, but the year before that finished lower. So there's where your 66% is shown actually in these 3 years here in the backtest. And if we look at the seasonal indicator, we see how May opens up to the downside a little bit and then shows a rally towards the end. This year as well, down, then back up, and then this one kind of flat and then down later on. So we will see how this correlates on the heat map for the US dollar. And here is the heat map for the US dollar index for May. And since we're looking on the bullish side, we want to be looking for the greens in this month. And those greens are concentrated in the first full week of the month and then the second full week of the month, not including this partial week here. But one thing we want to point out is we have the best 5-day hold of the entire year right here. See, it's ranked first. It's been 18 and 4 in the back test. It's an 82%. And that leads into the 5 days into this week. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So this 5-day hold starts here and then concludes here on the 9th. So we're going to give that a few days of play before and after, but this is your bullish time right here for the US dollar index for the end of the week ending May 3rd all the way to the beginning of the week beginning on May 13th. This month of May is a perfect opportunity to contrast the 2 markets that are the exact opposites to each other, and that's the US dollar and the euro currency. When one of these goes up, the other one is going to go down. So since the US dollar is bullish in May, then the euro currency is going to be bearish in May. And we see that playing out here. We have a 33% winning percentage, which means that Mays finish higher only 33% of the time. So 2 out of every 3 Mays, the euro currency has finished lower and has lost just under $32,000 in value. And if we look at the chart, we see that 2 out of the 3 years shown here, just like the US dollar, played into its seasonal tendency. We have last year finishing lower, year before that finishing lower, but the year before that finishing higher. So there's your 33%. And if we look at the seasonal chart, we see a slight rally, decline, and this one, it changed a little bit. We see a decline right away and then a rally. And this month we're seeing flat and then a decline. So that's kind of a mixed signal on the seasonal indicator. So we'll see what this seasonal heat map has to say about the euro currency. One thing to point out here with the euro currency and the US dollar is, number one, the stop that's used. We used a $2,000 stop for the euro currency, whereas the US dollar was a $1,400 stop. And also, if you remember back to the charts, the dollar values were quite different. We had 11,000 for US dollar, whereas it was 31,000 for the euro currency. And that's because the daily ranges on the euro currency is going to be a higher dollar value generally than the US dollar, and that's why we have to use a bigger stop for the euro currency, and that's why the dollar value is going to be a little bit higher for the euro currency as well. So looking at the calendar, we want to look for reds because this is a bearish month. So where are the reds concentrated? Just like with the US dollar, they're up at the top. The first 3 weeks is where all the concentration of the dark reds occur. And there are some pretty good days in here. We have a number of them over 90%, and we have a number of days that are in the 5 digits here. We have over $10,000 in some of these days here, and a few here. We have a 15,000 right there with an 82%. So we have bearishness right from the beginning of May, right until the very beginning of the week of May 13th. And as always, we'll take a look at the S&P E-minis for the month of May. May is the 7th most bullish month. So that's right smack dab in the middle. So it's neither bullish nor bearish, really. It finishes higher 66% of the time. That's more the case of upward drift in the market. The markets generally go higher over time, but it's only made $3,000. So that's your true signal right there that May is often a very choppy or flat month. So let's have a look at the heat map and see if there's anything there that we need to keep a close eye on. And on the heat map for the S&P E-minis for May, we see what we expected to see, and that's a lot of greens and reds mixed together because this is a choppy and flat month by and large. The only area here where we may have potential would be on the bullish side in the week from May 20th to 24th. We have holiday trades. So that is the days before Memorial Day. We have 3 bright green days here, and we have a very good day here as well on the Friday, 19-3, with a $20,000 net return on that day. So the day before the holiday, and really it's only a one-day trade. You're getting out on the Monday probably, or if you're entering Thursday, maybe you're out at the close of this week on the Friday. But it's a small one here, and it may not pan out. But if you're looking for anything this month, that might be the area to look for. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you're notified on our next videos. Simplexity Analytics, making complex trading simple.